Okay, we're going to look at 10.2 circles, and we're just going to look at the more simple portion of circles right now. So with circles, there's a couple of things. When you're looking at the equation, we want it to be in this form right here. We want it to be an x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. H and k are the center of the circle. And r, of course, is the radius. So if I have an equation that tells me x minus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 9, then my center of the circle is at 2, 3, and my radius is 3. Because remember, this is r squared, so I have to do the square root, which is the square root of 9 is 3. Okay, so what we're looking at is we're looking at a couple of things. The first thing that we want to do is we want to label the center. We want to tell, I want you to tell me what the center is. The second thing is I want you to tell me what the radius is. Okay, so those are the first two very, very, very most basic things. All right, they'll always be in this form essentially. There will be a couple of ones that'll be just a little bit harder. One of the really important things, because we're going to do a lot of different conic sections, when we're talking about conic sections, we're talking about taking a cone and cutting it somehow. So if I have a cone right here and I cut it straight across, that's what's going to give me a circle. The section that gets cut out is this circle right here. Okay, we're looking at the center of the circle being at 2, 3 on this example, and the radius being 3 units. Okay, so we're looking at that. But we're going to have a bunch of different kinds of conic sections by the end of this chapter. So it's really important that we can differentiate between the different kinds of conic sections. One of the major things with circles is this plus sign right here. Circles are always plus. Plus is what makes the parts of the conic section come together. So we have one half of a circle plus the other half of the circle. Okay, so that's what the plus is doing to it. So it's really important that we have a plus right there when we're dealing with circles. What you'll see sometimes is you'll see it in the form of where it's like a fraction. But notice that both of these are the same number. So this is writing it in it's not general conic form, but this is writing it in a more standard conic form. So this is making it look like the other kinds of conic equations. So you'll see it like this occasionally, but these two numbers will always be the same on a circle. So if you see it like this, what you would do is you would just multiply the whole entire equation by 9, which is going to bring you back to this equation up here. Okay, so we're still having a center of 2, 3, and we still have a radius of 3. All right, so that's the first part. That's the most basic portion of it. What we're also going to have to do is we're going to have to graph them. So I'm going to label the center first. The center is at -1, 2, and my radius is square root of 16, which is 4. So if I have to graph it out, I just go to the center first, -1, 2, and then a radius of 4 means that I'm going to go in 4 units in each direction. So I'm going to go 4 units to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go 4 units to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going from the center each time. I'm going to go 4 units down, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 units up, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I went from the center every single time. 4 units to the right, 4 units to the left, 4 units down, 4 units up. Whatever that radius is. And then I'm going to try to connect them. What I'm going to try to do when I connect them, and I'm always going to do it very poorly, is make it into a circle. So what I see people do a lot of times is they make a triangle. Well, a square really, but don't do that. Try to make it as circular as you can when you're connecting those points. You're never going to connect the center. You're not going to do anything with the center except for use it as your starting point to make your radius in each direction. Okay? So that's it for graphing them. You just use the center and the radius to graph them out.